Good afternoon, everybody. Anyone not aware yet, just about a half hour ago, the Pac-12 announced J.J. Taylor as the Offensive Player of the Week in the conference. Welcome back, Coach Sumlin. We'll open it up to questions for him.
Starting with that, Coach Stanton, did you ever imagine that J.J. could be a 27-carry a game kind of back?
Well, you know, it depends on the situation, you know, and obviously he's played a lot last year. You know, we want to rotate our running backs, as we talked about early in the year. But a little bit like anything else, you know, he had a pretty hot hand going, and you know, I think the rotation was still pretty good for him because he was able to get, you know, rip off some long runs and quite honestly, because of the tempo and not changing personnel, that was a factor going into the game to keep the same personnel on the field, to limit substitution by the defense, and so in those situations, you know, you're gonna have you know, back-to-back runs or back-to-back plays because of the tempo and keeping the same personnel on the field.
4 games into this, how would you assess how Khalil Tate has come along and how everything is kind of meshed together with his game, Noel's scheme, etc.?
I don't know. I think, you know, because of some things that have happened with him physically, you know, with all the things that he's encountered over the last, you know, really 3 weeks, you know, I think he's handling things very well.
Do you think that pull on his leg was a dirty play?
What are you talking about?
When the guy pulled Khalil's leg when he ran the one time and he went down, he kind of...
I'm not aware of that.
As far as just how he's soaking in the system, is he where you figured he would be as far as?
It's just like I said, you know, we've had to make some adjustments. That's obvious. So based on, you know, where he is and what we're doing offensively, I think he's adjusted very, very well.
How has the transition from the SEC to the Pac-12 been, and how would you describe this new chapter in your coaching career after 4 weeks?
Well, it's not 4 weeks. We've only played one conference game. So I'll probably have a better feel for that at the end of the year than I do right now.
How has the student section made an impact on your home battles so far, and how do you plan on using them?
But because they've had a lot of energy, they've affected some games here. I mean, and they've given us a lot of energy. So I think that you never underestimate the impact that fans have, and particularly the students have, and they can really continue to affect the game and affect the opponent with crowd noise, and also affect us with energy. Which I think was, you know, was evident, you know, even with BYU, with the energy level that the student section had, even at the end of the game, and how our guys played. So, no, they've been fabulous, and hopefully we can continue to play with the energy level that we've played the last couple weeks, and crank this thing up even more.
After watching the film, what was most impressive to you about how your offensive line dominated?
Well, we're just getting better, you know, and that's basically as I talked about a couple weeks ago. You know, I think that's where we are. You know, just trying to take a step, and really, I think this team has really has. I mean, I think we've done better with the approach of not so much about the opponent, but about us, and looking to see individually getting better, position groups getting better, and worrying more about us than the opponent, and putting together schemes that give us a chance with the players that are in those positions to make plays, instead of a cookie cutter style and worrying about, you know, who we're playing. And I think our team has responded the last couple of weeks to that approach, and you know, and I like it. I think we'll see this week because USC is a very, very talented team. They've had their struggles, but they're still, got a lot of talent across the board. Got a young quarterback, but he's talented, but a really veteran offensive line in front of him, with 4 starters back and guys who've played, explosive on the perimeter. Offensively, and special teams wise, they're up at the top of the league. Kickoff coverage, they're #1 team in the league. That tells you what kind of speed they have. Explosive returners, punt return and kickoff return. Special teams will be a big factor in this game because of how they're playing on special teams, and they're big and athletic up front. So on defense and with a lot of guys that can run. So we got a work cut out for us this week. But as I said, focusing on us has been. I think our team has responded to that approach, and that we're going to continue with that.
When you look at USC on film, do they look more like the SEC opponents that you might?
It's the video. Video is different. You can look at video, but until you're on the field, you don't. It's when you're on the field is when you really get a really good feel for, what the stature of a team looks like and things like that. Speed, they've got plenty of speed. Always have, always will. So the combination of big and fast is what they've always had. I don't think that's gone away or will ever go away for them.
Something that kind of has always worked defensively against like a young quarterback that you can maybe get him to make more mistakes than he usually would?
No. I mean, all quarterbacks are different. Some guys handle things a little bit differently. It's obviously last week, JT was a guy that in the second half that really came alive and got him back in the game. So that's concerning for us that he's coming on in the last half of the last game in a pressure situation. So, young guys grow at different rates. Obviously, he's the type of competition they've played. He's seen a variety of defenses now in the first 4 weeks of the season, and so that's been an experience for him, and he's continued to grow. So there's not just one thing you can do because he's seen some pretty good people with some different schemes come at him as a young guy, and last week I thought he handled the second half very well.
What stands out to you about how Colin Schooler does what he does?
He makes a lot of plays. He's a tenacious player. He's faster than you think he is, faster than a lot of people think he is. Based on our GPS utilization here, you get up in the 20-mile-an-hour range up into that area. He can do that consistently. Doesn't look like it, but that's pretty fast. When you're talking about some of the fastest people on the field being at 22 miles an hour, so he is. He's 240 pounds, and he's a knowledgeable guy. He is a great communicator on the sideline, a great communicator with his teammates, and loves to play the game. And football's in his blood, obviously. He is, his kind of energy and his kind of play is contagious. I think, his relationship with Tony is more than just on Saturday. These guys are walking around here together all the time, and I think they push each other. But Colin is, he's the quarterback of the defense, and knows what to do, knows how to do it now in his second year, and does it at a high level every week.
What is this GPS utilization that you were talking about?
What is it? It's a tool that is able to measure speeds, measure player load, and what it does is it gives us an idea
Have you been using this system?
I mean, here, just this year.
Has that been widespread in college football for a couple of years?
Yes.
Khalil had a intentional grounding penalty the other day and could have had some against Houston that weren't called. Is there something that you'd like him to do in those situations other than what he has been doing?
Well, I would say that the ones at Houston, he was out of the pocket, and so, you know, the one Saturday was, you know, he was retreating, but I thought you know, that they did a nice job of staying and contain, and he went straight back and then, you know, got rid of the ball, you know, the thinking, and he's come a ways with that. You know, we want him to get better. We want him to get outside. We want him to do some different things. But, you know, I wouldn't say that he's had a bunch of those. I would say that Saturdays was a good call because the pocket, in my understanding, is for infinity, straight back. If he gets out of the pocket, he can throw it away at the marker, and he's done that.
Had a lot of linemen downfield issues, and they kind of popped up in that one drive. Was that just an in-the-moment kind of thing?
Yeah, it's something that we fixed at halftime. I mean, we fixed later on, so.
What's the key there, I guess? What's the key in them staying in that 2 to 3 yard?
It's just part of our scheme.
How would you describe the first 4 weeks of the season so far?
What do you mean?
Like, what was your takeaway of the first 4 games, I guess?
I mean, we're getting better. So, you know, we've had some highs and lows. We're not where we need to be. I thought I, you know, said exactly where we were after the game Saturday. So, you know, we've got things to work on. We got things to do. We got things to fix on our end. And, you know, fortunately right now, you know, we're making some steps, but we got a ways to go, and we're going to continue to work at it and you know, try to fix us and play with the same energy level. I thought we played extremely hard last Saturday, you know, and with that, you know, we've got to be a smarter football team. The penalties, a couple of them in particular, are not acceptable, and things like that we have. We have to continue to work on, and when they're playing hard, but we got to play smarter. And you know, they had the ball on the ground. Oregon State did, I think, 4 times, of which we didn't get any of them, right? So if we force a turnover, if we force something like that, we got to get on the ball. And then the ball was out way too much for us. So you know, the turnover margin and penalties will come back to haunt you if you don't get that fixed, and that's something we're working on right now.
The personal foul that Tony Fields had early in the game when he hit Blount on the sideline, how much in your mind is it, or do you coach your guys if the quarterback is still in the process of trying to make an offensive play, how they approach a situation?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on penalties. You know, we address that within. So, I mean, any penalties that are there specific, you know, to what happened, I'm just not going to comment on that.
The fake field goal was kind of an underrated play in the game on Saturday from a coaching and planning standpoint. What goes into a play like that?
Well, we carry fakes every week, and a Coach Springer and I sit down on Sunday night and watch all the special teams video. And whether it's we review our video that Sunday in the afternoon, and then in the evening we start working on the opponent, and then we're always looking for something that if we got to use it, we got to use it, and if it's the right time and the right situation, it's there. So we'll carry a couple different exotics, I guess you could call it. We'll carry a couple different every week, and just because we don't run them doesn't mean we don't have them. And if the situation's right, and I feel like it's right, then we'll utilize them just like we did Saturday.
Does he come up to you on the sideline and ask you, like, is this time, or how does that part of it work?
Actually, it's a little bit anticipatory, based on the situation, based on and based on just a lot of different things that it's not a one fake works for all fronts, or one fake works for certain things. You're looking for certain things, and it's about feel for the game and where you are, and we have that communication. We talk about it before the game, and we talk about it during the week, and when those situations come up, we're on the same page. We've had other opportunities. We tried. We were getting ready to do some things earlier in the season, but this situation came up, and obviously we were able to execute it. We felt like we could get at least 8 yards, and I think we did. I was a little bit upset because they did something a little bit different, and I thought we were going to score, but obviously that didn't happen. But we did get a first down and did score.
Look at Jimmy Garoppolo's injury yesterday, turning upfield versus just getting out of bounds to avoid a hit. Do you have a philosophy or a policy with your quarterbacks in a situation like that? You want them to get out of bounds versus trying to get another yard?
I'll be honest with you. I never saw the play. I'm worried more about USC than I am in the NFL right now. So I don't even know what the situation was. Say again? I mean, I don't. Is he running down the sideline?
He tried to turn it upfield to get an extra yard instead of just going out of bounds to avoid a hit. He got hit, blew out his knee. So the question is, would you want a quarterback to just protect themselves and get out of bounds?
Depends. Again, I think everybody, when you have a situation like that, there's not a right or wrong answer. I have seen Garoppolo turn and get up the field. He's a big dude, you know what I mean? And he needs a yard. He's trying to help his team. So, injuries can happen anytime. And, I think every situation's different. You like guys to slide, you like guys to do different things, but, you're trying to win a game too. And so, I didn't see the situation, so it's hard for me to comment on that.
Let's take 2 more questions.
With Lucas Havlicek, what have you analyzed might be some of the issues with him and the field goals? And there was talk that maybe the air was heavy in Corvallis.
Look, we're you know what? There's no excuses, right? So everybody's got a job to do, and that's certainly an area where we need to get better. So that's something that we're working with him. He's done an excellent job with kickoffs. Which, this is his first year really starting as a place kicker, right? So, his kickoffs aren't translating. I've said this before, it's like a bunch of people in here that you go to the driving range, you can hit it a mile, right? But that fairway gets tight and you got to play, you go to hole 1, it's a different swing, and that's a mindset. So that's something that we're talking about right now.
What do you know about how that GPS tool actually works?
What's that?
What do you know about how that GPS tool actually works?
I just explained it, didn't I?
Is it something that's strapped
Yeah.
put on play, or?
Yeah.
It's actually right there on their body as they go.
Do you expect to get Jace Whitaker back this week?
I'm not going to comment on any injury information, so.
Do you expect any transfer program this week?
due to your new redshirt rules this season?
What do you mean?
Like, do you expect any players to transfer away from the program because of your redshirt rules of not allowing the players to be on the sideline during the game?
No. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, it's the middle of the season, so I mean, that's nothing that's been different anywhere I've been, and you know, I would be, I don't think that would even be a factor in transferring. Okay, thank you.